Hello class. So in this video we're going to continue to work on the background of this image and we're going to put a new mountain in the background. And the reason why we're putting a new mountain in the background is one is because I think it will look cooler, and actually I think you should not be afraid of pasting in a lot of different images into the background or even into the foreground, but especially the background, because that's what a lot of great digital rendering artists do. They cut and paste a lot of things in it. So the mountain's going to be a sort of a further test drive of that, just like the sky. But the other thing it's going to do is it's actually going to be used as a way of cleaning up this background. Now these trees are a little scraggly. Their leaves are sort of, I don't know, they're not as strong as they could be. Some of the way we remove the sky is not great. And just by pasting in something better, we're going to cover that all up. And that's a great trick to use in Photoshop. If you don't like the way something looks, cover it up. In this case, we're going to use a mountain for the background. But if it's in the foreground, maybe you strategically put a person or a scale figure in a spot to cover up a blemish in your building or something like that, right? So don't be afraid of doing that. It's a great skill. It's easy, and you should do it more than you probably think. So we're just going to do it with this test drive with a mountain. So I've already gone ahead in Google and I've looked up mountains in Google Images and downloaded an image. So you should go and do that. Don't be afraid to take time. Skies were easy when we did it last time, but some of these things can, take some time to find the right one. And also think about the words you're searching. So like if you do mountains, you're probably going to get pointier things like the Rocky Mountains. But that's not what the Catskill Mountains are like. The Catskill Mountains are older, they tend to be more round, not as tall. And so I think I was searching Catskill Mountains to get an image of the Catskill Mountains, which sort of has this shape to it like we see on the screen. Now, in this case, we're not going to need all of this. We're only going to need a part of this. So we're going to sort of begin to edit this image a little bit to get it ready to be taken in to our other drawing. So I'm going to start by unlocking the layer, and I'm going to do like I usually do is go to this magic wand tool and start clicking on this sky. One of the reasons why I picked this one is because I knew the sky was going to be easy to delete just with that. Now this one came too close. That magic wand didn't quite work in that space, so I'm going to do Control D to deselect, and I might have to zoom in, which is Alt and then up on my scroll wheel. And I might need to come in with my polygon lasso tool and sort of just select around the tree a little bit. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. And if it looks ugly, I'll just paste something else in front of this little segment later on. But you can just roughly trace it out. It'll look like this. So you can see it doesn't matter in the checkerboard pattern. So that's why I just went really tall. But down around the mountain, I tried to stay really close. I hit delete and Control D to deselect, and it looks pretty good. And I think in the end, it'll be fine. Now, what I'm going to do is I deselected everything. I'm going to go back to my polygon lasso, and I'm just going to go and select the mountain. Again, in the checkerboard pattern, it doesn't really matter where I click. I can go really rough. But down here, select the base wherever you think makes sense. In my case, I'm just getting the edge of this waterway, but you can select it wherever you want it. It can be a straight line. It can be semi-arbitrary, and you can always clean it up later, but you have to pick a base of the mountain like that just to get everything selected. And once you have it selected, just do Control C to copy, come over to your file and do Control V to paste. And in my case, the mountain is there. It's just behind the building. So watch this. I'm going to go to my move tool. I know it must be about centered, so I'll click and move it. And it's tiny, but that's okay. I think it'll still work, and we can move this up. So I'm going to label this mountain. And I think in this case, in my case, yeah, I do want it in front of the background layer. So this is the right spot. I want this layer between building and mountain because I want to cover up this part of the drawing. So I'll just come in. I'll probably put the base approximately at my horizon line actually, because if the land starts to go up at the horizon line, that's why it would break at the flat plane. So it doesn't matter, but it's a good place to start by placing the bottom at the horizon line. And then I'll do Control T, and I'll go to scale, and I'll scale this thing up from the corner. Again, doing proportional probably will help here, so go ahead and make it as big as you need to. Keep in mind, I could make this bigger and just have some of it hang off the image, and that won't be an issue at all. Making it small might even get away because it could blend into the existing landscape, but I think in my case, I might even, I might just make it the original size right about there. Click and set it. Once you set it, you can see it becomes clear. And I'm actually you can lower it up, make it bigger, whatever you need to do. I'm actually going to lower mine a little bit to match the image. because I think I want my roof plane to just stick out top of the mountain to express that this building has height in it, by making it sort of visually taller than the mountain. And again, if it comes down below the horizon line, that's perfectly fine. And there's your mountain. I do see there's, in my case, this might not happen in yours, but in my case, I see there's one little thing here. See this bright green here? That's part of this original image. It shouldn't stick above this mountain that's in the background. So I'm going to go and delete that. I'm just going to go to my background copy layer, which is where that is. Go maybe even to my rectangle marquee tool. Just click around that and hit delete, and you can see I knew that would work because I knew I had sky behind it and my mountain in front of it, and there you go. And you might be wondering about this tree. We're going to get to trees in, it might be a couple more videos yet. We'll see when we get to trees, but we will take care of this tree when we need to. But as long as you got a cool mountain back there, you can see we've really changed how this looks. This was originally what it looked like, just for demonstration purposes. It's okay, but this is, much more interesting with a mountain and a sky and things of that nature. So again, lots of artists, they will do lots of different things in the background. So don't be afraid of going above and beyond and adding more mountains or other things back there. But this was a basic test to show you how to get it done, and it's not uncommon to do either of these. When we come back to the videos, we still are going to work more on the foreground, adding scale figures, trees, and even stuff to the building. So I'll see you in the next video.